Hi guys, it's Caleb and Ashley. Caleb, oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to do the timeline of the Abomination of Desolation. So stick with me to hear what I have to say. All right, guys, if you have not seen my video on the Abomination of Desolation, check it out. So how do we know when the Abomination of Desolation will be set up? When do we know when it's going to be taken away? And then finally, when will we see the birthing pains of it getting implemented? We want to go to Daniel 8, verse 13. It says, "Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to that certain one who was speaking," so these are two angels going back and forth, and one angel's like, "How long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices and the transgression of desolation, the giving of both the sanctuary and the host to be trampled underfoot?" And the other angel answers back, "For 2,300 days. All right, so these 2,300 days, like what is this? For us to figure that out, we need to go to Daniel 9:27. So Daniel 9:27, the beginning of it says, "Then he," this would be the Antichrist, "shall confirm a covenant with many," I see this as Israel and other nations, "for 1 week. 1 week can mean 7 years. So instead of us thinking a week is 7 days, to my knowledge, in the Jewish culture, a week meant, it could mean 7 years. But in the middle of the week, in the middle of the 7 years, he, the Antichrist, shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering." So this is where people get the 7-year tribulation. They get it from right here, Daniel 9:27. And so we read that halfway through the 7 years, sacrifices are taken away. So I drew out this little map. There we go. The sun's in my way. It's reflecting odd. So we have the 7-year tribulation. Okay. Halfway through, sacrifices are taken away. We just read that. If we do the math, there would be 1,260 days remaining. Okay. A Jewish month is 30 days. All right. Now we're going to jump to Daniel chapter 12. The very beginning, it says, "And from the time that the daily sacrifices are taken away," and now we know it gets taken away at the halfway mark of the 7 years. Daniel 12:11 continues, "And the abomination of desolation is set up." That means it gets set up right when the sacrifices are taken away. It says, "There shall be 1,290 days. Okay, so I drew it out again. So I have that 7-year, right? So we get some more added information. When the sacrifices are taken away, that abomination of desolation is set up. So we know for sure that the abomination of desolation is set up at the middle of the 7 years. And then it lasts for that 1,290 days. So that's 30 days after the 7-year tribulation. Then that abomination of desolation is removed and it's cleansed. Another Bible verse says the word cleansed. So now we're starting to understand a little bit. Okay, it gets set up halfway through. It gets removed at the 30 days after the 7 years. But then what is this 2,300 days that Daniel heard from that angel? So let's go back to Daniel 8. So the two angels are going back and forth and they say, "How long will the vision be?" What vision? The vision that Daniel just had. The vision that was concerning the sacrifices, the transgression of desolation, the giving of the sanctuary, and the giving of the host to be trampled underfoot. And the other angel says 2,300 days. So what we want to do is, if we know it's removed right here, we need to rewind 2,300 days. And if we do the math, it ends up being around 8 or 9 months into the 7-year tribulation. And I have all that math right here. So you can screenshot it to double check. But I'm pretty sure that I'm right with the math. So we know, because of scripture, the abomination of desolation is set up, like the core of the abomination. What's the core? Is that image of the beast getting built and being mandated to worship, right? The core of it is the sacrifices being taken away. But something happens 8 months in. Something happens 9 months in because the angel says so. So going back to that verse 8, I'm so sorry. Caleb's just been whatever all day. Well, not all day. She slept this morning, but anyone who watches my videos, you know Caleb just is Caleb. But scripture, it says, the angel asks about those 4 things, right? The sacrifices, the transgression of desolation, which I believe is like that core abomination of desolation, the image of the beast getting, mandated, built, all of that. It's speaking, it's breathing. Oh, see Revelation 13. Giving of the sanctuary, and then the host to be trampled underfoot. One of those 4, what can't be the abomination of desolation, like the core of it, the image. So those other 3, one of those, something's going to be happening. Some type of defilement is going to be happening about 8 or 9 months in. I would call it like some type of birthing pains. We got to look for that. I mean, maybe there'll be something about sacrifices, but not the complete taking away of it. Obviously, we know the complete taking away of it happens at the halfway point, but maybe something with sacrifices, something with maybe Christians and them getting trampled. We'll have to see. But now we know to keep our eyes peeled. So there you go. There's that timeline, okay? So something happens 8 or 9 months in. The core of the abomination is halfway through. It gets set up, and the cleansing, the removal of it, happens 30 days after the 7 years. All right. Bye, guys.